What's up, YouTube fam? Welcome back. Today I'm just gonna do a Q&A. I'm just gonna answer questions. I don't feel like doing makeup, even though this is kind of a beauty channel, but one whole person asked me to do a Q&A on the live I did earlier this week, so I was like, hell yeah, glad you asked. Also, talking about that, I'm gonna start doing lives every week, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time here in the States. So yes, today is a Q&A. I have gathered all the questions, so I'm going to be answering them. And also, I already do have a Q&A that I'm going to link up here where I answer like all the get to know me kind of questions, like my ethnicity, why we moved to New York, family, things like that. So today's going to be more of like a random fun one. Okay, let's get into the questions. First one. Oldest versus newest photo in your phone. Oh, this is boring because I've already showed this one on my Instagram, but this is on Sunday when we were out walking and we had ice cream and there was a nice sunset. That's the latest photo. So this is from January. This is when I got this phone, and this was the same day that we moved. So this is my husband eating breakfast at the hotel that we were staying at in Stockholm before we got on the flight here. Okay, pet peeves. I hate when people like don't close the lid fully on things. Like, you know, when they're like, you take something out of the fridge and you're like opening it up and then you're like half closing it, especially when it's like one of those lids that you screw on and you don't screw it on correctly and it's like all like, no, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Do I have another pet peeve? Ooh, I don't know. I also hate when people, when you have a dishwasher at home and people leave their dishes in the, like just on the counter, or like even worse, like in the sink. No, like you literally brought that all the way here, and right here at about like 90% of your task, you decide to, no, I'm just gonna leave. No, I will. No. Next question. Tell us something embarrassing about yourself. There's so many things, girl. There's so many things. Okay, for one, I'm an extremely clumsy person, so I fall over all the time. One of the things that I do, like at least twice a week, is, you know, when you walk and you're like do 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 do, and then all of a sudden your ankle's just gonna be like boop, like boop, and you're like, what? Like, especially if you're on your own, yeah, I just want to break out laughing because it's so funny to me. Because whenever that happens, when I'm walking and I'm like, dude, it's the first thing I think about is anyone anywhere on the street who saw me and them just being like, that bitch just did that. Oh my god, it's so funny. Anyway, so I do that all the time. I also kind of like misinterpret things all the time. So the other day I was calling salons because I wanted to see if they wanted to collaborate with me, because I wanted to do like a vlog or like do something fun with my hair, you know. And I hit this salon up and in the DMs, and this girl was like, yeah, sure, we have a girl here who wants to work with you, like just call her at this number. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I call this girl and we start talking, and you know, she's super sweet, and she's like, yeah, because I got so confused because I saw you were calling from a New York number. And I'm like, wait, where are you? She's like, I'm in Utah. I'm like, I do this, like I just don't pay attention to detail ever. One time I even ordered a pizza in the wrong city. Another one is, I was in Marbella partying in Spain when I was like 22 or something, and I was wearing this crop top, and back then I had I have no boobs now. Back then I had literally had no boobs, and one of my girlfriends, she had these like Barbie heels on, like they were these neon pink, super tall heels on, and we walk onto the dance floor, and she's, I don't remember, she was in front of me, and she did the ankle thing, she did the boop, and she kind of turned around when she did it, and she grabbed my top, and I didn't have a bra on because I didn't have boobs, and it was like one of those strapless tops, and I flashed my titties to the whole club, and it still haunts me. Celebrity crush. I have plenty. I have always been a big fan of the Hemsworth brothers. I do like Brad Pitt, especially in his later years. He's chef's kiss. Generally like the tall blondes. That's my type. That's also what my husband looks like, so. What do your notes in your phone look like? Okay, so I always have a to-do list. Wait. There's my to-do list, and then in it, damn, how do I do this? In it, there's like Monday, Tuesday, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I put all my stuff here. I put my morning routine and then whatever I need to do, wash my hair, film this video, come up with ideas, whatever. And then I have a ideas list where I put down all my ideas for social. Like 90% of them are crap, but you're supposed to write them down anyways. And then I always have like a to-buy list in the grocery store. So throughout the week, I like put things down. I'm like, oh shit, we're out of whatever, and I put it down, and then I just have it there. I have I have a note called meal quotes, which is quotes from my husband that he says that it's so funny, especially when he's drunk. And I just started this one, so I only have one so far, but I can read it to you. So in Swedish, it is: nu har jag varit rädd i typ en timme att polisen ska hälla ut min margarita. That means I've been afraid for an hour now that the police is gonna come here and they're gonna pour out my margarita. Because we were sitting and drinking at a bench, and we had these huge margaritas, and we paid quite a lot for them, and they were just so good. And he was so afraid that they were gonna ruin the moment and be like, you can't drink in public, sir. And that would have ruined his day. I have so many. I have brands that I want to purchase from. My majority of them are black-owned brands because I don't want to forget about them. Then I have a list of baby names. Then I have a list of movies I need to watch. Then I have a list of makeup I want to buy, like specific items. Then I have a list of 10 American chocolate bars, which is probably my next theme for my Snacks by Nats. Okay, next question. Can you film more vlogs? So I've actually filmed one that was like a day of quarantine, and this camera is just not very good for, why is it so dark? Wait, this camera is just not the best for that because it's actually a street photographer camera, so it's better for photography. It's basically not a camera that's made for filming, and when I try to film it, you know, like holding it in my hand, first of all, it's very close to my face. So it's like, this is the way my vlogs look like when I try to film. Also, it's very shaky. So I'm considering buying a vlog camera because I could do it with my phone, but the front camera on the Samsung sucks, so I can't really do that. Because I really want to start doing vlogs. Go to a club or dinner? Dinner. I mean, I love dancing. I love dancing. I love going out with my girlfriends and just dance, and nobody gets close to it. I just don't want anybody else. It's just us dancing and drinking. But I can't stay awake past 10 p.m. to save my life. If I'm at home, I'm in bed by 10:30, usually, maybe 11. If I'm out, my body's like, no, bitch, you are not gonna have fun tonight. You want to sleep. And so that has led to me falling asleep in clubs and like always the one who's yawning, and like, I don't know. The concept that I like is out of office parties. Like when you go after work, there's a whole club and a party. You do your thing, you're home, and you're in bed by 9 p.m. When concept, why do people not do that more? Fave ever TikTok, oh my God. Should we really go down that rabbit hole? I think we shouldn't, but I'm already in that now, so let's just do it. I have a bunch of saved ones, so let's just find one that I really like. By the way, I just want to say that I'm very impressed by this one. Look at this. Ugh. Excuse you, ma'am, are you for jokes or is this for reals? Like, I have like 10 tutorials on this channel how to do eyeliner because it's that difficult for most people. Like this is a superpower. And why did I think this one was so cute? Boop. How cute is that little kid? Look at it smiling. Okay, whatever. Nobody wants to see kids. Let us find something funny. No. No. Oh. Oh my God. This one, I laughed so much because I thought of me and my brother. And the caption says, my brother and I were picking my mom up from a late night at work and got bored when suddenly. Oh my God, wait. Look at this again. Listen to the mom in the background. And he still lays there. Help the poor bastard. He can't. Next question, do you work out? Yes, I do. If you asked me 6 months ago, I would be like, no, bitch, I hate working out and I have all my life. But now I try to do it just to feel healthy. And I don't want to talk about it too much because I know that it triggers some people. But I started doing just yoga, and then I started following Chloe Ting's like challenges programs on YouTube, and that's what I do. I also tried becoming a runner several times, but that never worked out, so I don't do that anymore. The thing is, when I see people run, I'm like, it looks so easy and it looks so like healthy and nice and enjoyable, but when I do it, I literally feel like a sack of potatoes that has 2 straws as legs and it's trying to run. It's not for me. What made you start a YouTube channel? So I started my YouTube channel because I have my Instagram account. I wanted to do more video, and I felt like, especially like a year ago, Instagram didn't have like reels, and like IGTV wasn't that big and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I've been watching YouTube for like half my life. Let's just do it. So I did it. Your best drinks, and can you mix one live? I just might. On my first live, I might make it a thing to like start it off with mixing a drink. Right now, this is my favorite drink, and it's actually been a fave for a long time, but I can also say that the margarita is a strong competition. Yeah. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? Probably the West Coast in the US, because I've always wanted to live somewhere where it's warmer for the majority of the year. And I've always wanted to live somewhere close to the beach. So yeah, probably the West Coast in the States. I want to try to do that once in my life. Skin or makeup brand you love, but you don't support anymore. I talked a little bit about this in my last video where I was doing makeup and ranting, but RMS is one of those brands. They're highly problematic. You know, I've used their stuff like a lot on this channel. Can't support them anymore. There's quite a lot of brands who have disappointed me lately that I'm gonna use them up personally, but I don't want to give them any time or space in my channels. Favorite fashion tips. So I'm not a fashion person. I don't like shopping. I don't enjoy it. I don't like spending money on it. I don't know. I think that like a lot of the times people assume that just because you like beauty, not that I'm saying that this one person does that asked this question, but I think a lot of the times like people assume that like if you like makeup, you like fashion. I don't, and a big reason for that is that I don't feel like I find clothes that flatter my body. I have like proportion wise, my lower body is a lot bigger than my upper body. I've always had like a lot of, especially thighs and a little bit of ass too. Like for the past couple of years, as the body trend, as up enough that sounds, there is a body trend. It's gotten more close to my body type. Before it was very, very skinny, and so clothing is getting easier, but it's still like an anxiety thing for me to shop. Like every time I buy something online and I get it so rarely looks the way I want it to look, and I guess that's the case for everyone really. But my favorite fashion tip is truly only buy things you're comfortable in. I bought so many jeans that I'm like, oh, they look good, but then they sit weirdly in some spaces, and like it's the same with like some shirts, and like just buy things that make you feel comfortable and not things that are in or trendy. Fave sports. Okay, so we talked about working out before. The only sports I played growing up was handball. I hated that, and I also did gymnastics, and I hated that. And those two were like a total of a year, and then after that I was like, I'm not doing sports, I hate this shit. But in my adult life, I started playing beach volleyball, and I really liked that. I did that with my best friend for like only a year, I think, before I moved to Stockholm, and then there were no inside beach volleyball courts. I love beach volleyball. That's like the only sport that makes me feel like I'm not exercising. Favorite holiday destination. So I'm assuming that that's where I've been. I think that actually my favorite ever holiday that I ever did, I have two. One of them was that girls' trip to Spain that I spoke about. I was in Spain for 2 weeks with my girlfriends, and my best girlfriend, she was living and working down there because they have a, you know, her family has an apartment there, so she's been going there every summer. And then one summer when we were like 21 or 22, she was working down there, and me and my other girlfriend went there, and it was like we were out all the time, and it was just one of those like girls trips that like nothing can compare to it. And then the second one is the road trip that I did with my husband. We did a road trip across the United States. So we started in Miami, and then we went to Cali. And if I have to pick one place out of all that was the best, it was Sedona in Arizona. Like Arizona as a state was crazy beautiful. They have the Grand Canyon, and they have mountains, and they have like, you know, like typical like mountain settings. It's very like green, and then they also have like desert, and they have the Grand Canyon, and then they have so much wildlife. And we went to this little town called Sedona, which is like it's just a bunch of like old retired people who have like art galleries, like a bunch of old white rich people. But then there's also great food, and there's a lot of hiking, and it's like those red mountains. And we were living in this little bed and breakfast that was so cute, and we had like a view of the red mountain. It was just, we also got engaged there. But I think if we hadn't gotten engaged there, it would still have been my favorite destination. So I really want to go back there one day. What type of music do you like? So I'm definitely a R&B and hip hop girl, and I listen to a lot of like old school music. So I have like on my Spotify, I have a bunch of lists. They're like, I have like old school volume 1, volume 2, and it's like, you know, J-Lo, Usher, Destiny's Child, all those like late 90s, beginning of 2000s when I was growing up. But then I also have a list called 2000s Girl Power, I think, or something. And I just have the best fucking songs. The biggest like girl groups of the 2000s, and like solo artists as well, like Janet Jackson and Samantha Mumba and all of those. And then I also have a few like modern, like new hits, but that are very like girl powery, like Cardi B and Beyonce and things like that. So I can link that list below if you want to go grab it. One thing that I cannot listen to sad music. It's just like a, and then I start crying. It's too emotional to me. So like ballads and sad songs, I'm like, it's a no for me. Favorite food? I've been both me and my husband have been very into tacos. If I have to pick like one type of food, like type of food, it's tacos. So I think like a great fish taco, or like a great avocado tostada, or like, I love when you get like rice and beans in just like a little bowl with some cilantro on it. It's just great stuff, because it's like nice and like creamy and tasty with all the sauces, but then it's also very fresh with all the vegetables, like the cilantro and the lime, guys, the lime. All-time favorite makeup products. I'm thinking about doing a video with this instead. How you feel about that? Should we do that? I think we should do that. Star sign. I'm a Sagittarius. I don't know what my rising, what my moon. I think my moon is Scorpio. I generally identify with the Scorpio sign more when I read horoscopes than I do with the Sagittarius. But I know nothing about Sagittarius. But if you're a star sign expert, why don't you comment down below something about my little sign so I can get to know myself better. I think I can research all my like moons and risings and whatever, and I can put it here, and then you can help me out. Thank you. Favorite movie? I don't think that I could pick one. We've been watching a lot of like 80s and 90s movies lately. So we've been watching like Wall Street, the other one with Michael Douglas, Falling Down, is that what it's called? We've been watching like Tell It to Miss Ripley. We've been watching whatever else have we been watching? Like Fight Club, things like that. So I generally like 80s and 90s movies. I'm very much into that right now. Had you asked me like a couple years ago, I probably would have said Harry Potter movies or Lord of the Rings movies. I love fantasy. Tea about the Swedish beauty community. So literally everyone is so nice except for this one bitch. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, you guys, I think that was it for today. I think I answered almost all the questions that I got. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any other things you want to know, comment it down below, and I'll see you in the next one.